Good morning. Hello, everyone. Trying to get a rock from Pippi. Okay. So today is Tuesday morning, and it is AA day. And of course, I go live, and the dog's going crazy. Ah, today is another wonderful day to be here and be sober. Just gonna say a few rules here and on Facebook because I'm on Facebook Live also. It is an AA meeting, so please refrain from talking about alcohol and be kind to people in here. And on YouTube, please don't pass any judgment and don't harass people that come into the chat because they're in the chat, but they're not necessarily the recovering alcoholic or the alcoholic. They may be just trying to figure out ways to help a family member or a friend. So just please be aware of that. And with that, I want to say why I started doing AA on my platforms. Well, because I got this great gift for free. And I can share it for free, and that's what I want to do. So that is my way of saying, hey, I'm a recovering alcoholic, and you're not the only one. And to help those who can't get to a meeting because of health or whatever other reasons, So, and let you all know that there is help out there. Because before I found AA, I was pretty lost. I didn't plan to go to AA, but a friend of mine asked me to. You can get down and go lay down right now. Now. This dog, I'm telling you, he waits until I go live and then he acts like a butt. Figures, huh? Anyways, I'm Sandra. I'm a recovering alcoholic. I'm going to say the Serenity Prayer and then get into steps and start reading out of the big book. So here we go. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. If you need books, they are like available pretty much in bookstores, and I know Amazon has them. I'm not affiliated or sponsored by Amazon, but they do have the books. Libraries usually have them that you can check out. Your AA meetings, most time, if they have the books, they read the books. So you can get them that way too. My sponsor, I don't know of anybody other than me and my sponsor. When I first started AA, my sponsor gave me the books. And so that's the same thing that I do is I've given away some of my books that I have had gotten from her, and I just uh, repeat the gesture that she gave me. So that's what I do. Anyways, I'll bring you up in a minute. Okay. Oh, also down at the bottom of the video, please know that I do put in the description of what book we're in, the story title, and the page number, so you can follow along. I am in the fourth edition book, so if you have one that's different, it might be different in your book. 1. We admitted we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. 2. Came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. 3. Made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. 4. Made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. 5. Admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. 6. We're entirely ready to have God remove all these defective characters. 7. Humbly asked Him to remove our shortcomings. 8. Made a list of all persons we had harmed and become willing to make amends to them all. 9. Made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. 10. Continue to take inventory, and when wrong, promptly admit it. 11. Sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him, praying only for knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. 12. Having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to alcoholics and to practice these principles in all our affairs. You ready? Hey,
Hey,
how are you doing this morning?
I'm all right.
No voice.
Not really.
Well,
Still really scratchy.
thank you for coming up. It's always nice to have someone seeing you and you can see them. Um, so, uh,
Are you on
anyways, this is
Facebook too?
yes.
Can
This
they
is
see
my
and hear me?
huh?
Can they see and hear me?
No,
Uh,
but it's all right. It's because you're in my ear, so
oh,
that's okay. Just having you there is nice. Okay, we are on My Chance to Live, and it's on page 309 in the fourth edition big book. So, My Chance to Live. AA gave this teenager the tools to climb out of her dark abyss of despair. I came through the doors of Alcoholics Anonymous at age 17, a walking contradiction. On the outside, I was the portrait of a rebellious teenager with miles of attitude to spare. On the inside, I was suicidal, bloodied, and beaten. My stride spoke of confidence I didn't feel. My dress was that of a straight tough kid you didn't want to mess with. Inside, I was trembling with fear that someone would see through my defenses to the real me. If I saw who I really was, you would turn away and discuss or use my many weaknesses to destroy me. One day or the other, I was convinced I'd be hurt. I couldn't allow that to happen. So I kept the real me veiled behind a force field of rough edged attitude. How I got to this place is still a mystery to me. I grew up in a loving middle class home. We had we had our problems with what family doesn't, but there was no abuse, verbal or physical, and it certainly couldn't be said my parents didn't do the best they could by me. My grandfathers were alcoholics, and I was raised on stories of how it had ravaged their lives and the lives of those around them. Nope, I didn't want to be an alcoholic. In my early teen years, I began to be bothered by feelings that I didn't fit in. Until this point, I had ignored the fact that I wasn't one of the in crowd. I thought if I tried hard enough, I would fit in sooner or later. At 14, I stopped trying. I quickly discovered the soothing effects of a drink. Telling myself I would be more careful than my unfortunate grandparents, I set out to feel better. Drinking released me from the suffocating fear, the feeling of inadequacy, and the nagging voice at the back of my head that told me I would never measure up. All of those things melted away when I drank. The bottle was my friend, my companion, a portable vacation. Whenever life was too intense, alcohol would take the edge and off or obligate the problem altogether. Uh, uh,
Obliterate.
yeah, brutally. Yeah, altogether for a time. Blackouts became my goal, though it may sound strange. They never frightened me. My life was ordered by school and by home. When I blacked out, I simply went on autopilot for the remainder of the day. I thought on I thought of going
The
through
thought.
huh?
The thought.
Oh, the thought of going through my teen years without a single memory of it passing was very appealing. I hadn't given up on life, just childhood. Adults had it made. They made all the rules. Being a kid stunk. If I could hold out until I was 18, everything would turn around. I had no idea at the time how true words would prove to be. Diving headfirst into what remained of the subculture left over from the 60s, I took party till you throw up and never and new level throw up to new levels. I liked drinking. I liked the effect of alcohol had on me. I didn't like throwing up at all. I soon discovered there were other substances I could take that would help me control my drinking. A little bit of let's see how long this one is.
A
I
little
don't
bit
think
of this or that.
I know I'm trying to see how much of this how many pages this one is. Quite a few. I lost my spot again.
311.
In
At
no
the top.
time at all, I had arrived, or so I thought. I had a bunch of friends to hang around with. We did exciting things, skipping school, taking road trips, drinking things, drinking were all a part of this new life. It was great for a while, getting hauled into the principal office or being questioned by the police, things I would have been ashamed of before, were badges of honor. My ability to come through these events without giving away information of being unnerved brought me respect and trust among my peers. Outwardly, I was a young woman who was comfortable with herself. Yet ever so slowly, these actions that I knew deep down were wrong started eating holes in me. My first reaction was to drink more. The outcome wasn't what I expected. I continued to raise my intake without the desired effect. Blackouts become few and far between. It didn't seem to matter how much I drank or in what combination with other substances. I could no longer find the relief I sought. Life at home was falling apart around me. Every time I turned around, I'd done something to make my mother cry. At school, they were looking for ways to be rid of me. The vice principal made it a point to explain his position to me, no to me in no uncertain terms, straightened up, or you are out of your ear for good, out on your ear for good. Life at home was falling apart. Oh, I'm going to try to read that one over again. I started the painful spiral to the bottom. A scant 2 years into my drinking career, knowing I had to graduate, I made adjustments to my lifestyle to stay in school. I watched as my friends continued to have fun. A depression settled over me, encasing me in a gray haze. I couldn't skip school anymore. My boyfriend came home from boot camp with another girl. My mother was still crying, and it was all my fault. There were several attempts of I I'm grateful to say I wasn't very good at it. Then I decided since I wasn't having fun anymore, I'd quit drinking and using. I mean, why waste good booze if you're going to feel just as bad drunk as sober? I held no hope for feeling better when I stopped. I just didn't want to waste the booze. It never occurred to me that I couldn't stop. Every day I concocted some new method of staying sober. If I wear this shirt, I won't drink. It didn't work. Every morning I woke up with a new resolve to stay sober, with few expectations. By noon I was so messed up I couldn't tell you my name. The voices in my head became even more and more vicious. With each failed attempt, my head said, "See, you failed again. You knew you wouldn't feel better. You're a loser. You're never going to beat this. Why are you even trying? Just drink until you're dead." On the rare days I managed to make it past noon, there were few brave enough to get within 100 yards of me. I was not a nice person sober. I was angry and frightened, and I wanted to feel as terrible as I did. A few times I had drinks pushed on me. Here, drink this, then maybe you won't be so difficult. I always had a nasty retort, and then took what was offered. Toward the end, I prayed every night for God to take me in my sleep, and I cursed Him in the morning for allowing me to live. It was never my intention to end up in AA. If someone mentioned perhaps I drank too much, I laughed at them. I didn't drink any more than my friends. I never got drunk when I didn't want to. Never mind that I always wanted to. I couldn't be an alcoholic. I was too young. Life was my problem. Other substances were my problem. If I could just get a handle on things, then I could drink. Hello, nomadic backpack. I got a job as a waitress at a local pancake house. Our late hours attracted a wide variety of clientele, including some members of Alcoholics Anonymous. They were not my favorite people to wait on. They, in fact, drove me to drink. They were loud, hard to please. They table hopped and didn't tip very well. I waited on some bunch of 6 weeks in a row before finally beginning granted the
being
night off. Huh?
being
Oh,
granted the night off.
now I had been thinking that my problem was insanity, and what happened on my night off clinched it. I missed this motley crew who had plagued me existence for over a month. I missed the laughter of their bright smiles. I went and had coffee with them. I think we'll stop there. Um, so yeah, I drank as a teenager too, and um, I said the same things. I said, "Oh, I know I know I could become an alcoholic. It's in my family." But then, I still took the drink. I could turn it down. I was able to do that. Like if I wasn't in the mood. I am a teen mom of two, and so after I had my kids, I didn't drink very much. Well, for quite a while anyway. I hit 21. I started going to the bars, but I didn't go to very many bars because why? I mean, I'd already been drinking. It wasn't that. I mean, going for the fun, yes, and then I'd have to have I don't know how many drinks at the bar, but I was still able to just drink that one day and be fine. But then when my kids got older and they got into high school, that's when it hit me. That's when I became the alcoholic side of myself. But see, knowing your whole life that can happen to someone, it makes it to where you fight it off or you try to fight it off for a long time. And that's what I did all the way till I hit 30. And then I started drinking more often, having more people over to come have drinks with us and so on. And And then I started drinking every day, waking up, going to bed with it. I had to. And that was when I had my confidence where I could go and talk to anybody, I wasn't the shy self of me. And but uh I got sober because I smacked my face on something. My husband says it was the stove, which probably. But I quit drinking at that point. I quit for a year, and I didn't do AA for that year. I did the exact thing that this person did, saying, "Oh, well, I'll wear this and it'll help me stay sober." And it did. It did for a year. I had one necklace that I would wear. Did not take it off for a year. It broke, and I went and started drinking. So it did work for me for a year. But as I've said before, going a year without drinking and setting myself up, because I did buy that drink and I put it in my refrigerator and I had it there waiting for me to drink it. And so I did. I drank it. And I went right back to the bottom of the barrel. And that is why I talk so much about AA, because and the ways it's helped me, because I have the knowledge of I'm not alone, and there is tools that work, and there are people there to help, and you can get life back, and you can live a normal life with being a recovering alcoholic, and you can feel your real feelings. You're not trying to hide them. You're not self-medicating. You are actually in your emotions and feeling the true self of you. And I am not perfect. I don't have wonderful days every day. I have the rotten days, I have the bad days, and I'm no different than anyone. I just am a recovering alcoholic. And there are a lot of us out there, and there's a lot of us that don't make it. And so with AA, I learned how to be the better me, and the steps to know to take, to just say no to that first drink, and wake up every morning being sober and being okay to be sober, because you can live. There's a better life to live without it. How about you, Lily?
Yeah. I don't have a voice and it's hard for me to talk.
Yeah.
But I'd like to say hi to everybody.
Thank you for
Sorry I
coming up.
can't talk very well. But Puppy's got my voice like crackling and
Yeah.
it's been in and out for a couple weeks.
Yeah, I know. It's been about three
But
weeks, actually.
I also did too um the bargaining and if I wear this or if I do this, and it never worked for me. The
Yeah.
only thing so far I have found that has worked is AA, talking to my sponsor,
Yeah.
talking to my daughter,
Hmm.
um, you know, just staying in contact
Yeah.
with people I trust. And I'm not afraid to tell my friends here that I'm an alcoholic and I'm a recovering addict. So,
You're a recovering alcoholic and a recovering addict. And
yes.
there's help for everyone. And AA can work with helping you get through your daily life, without even having to, you don't have to have an illness or be an alcoholic or be a recovering addict to use this program. Everyone can use this program to become a better person, to be a better you for yourself. And that's what these books tell you, is that you have to do you first. And that is the fact. If you are not okay with yourself, just know nobody else is okay with you either. And they want you to get better. And they want you to be the better you that they know you can be. And that's why they stand behind you and they root you on. They cheer you on every single day of the step. And I am one to say it works. And I never thought anything would actually sink in to the alcoholic mind and and make me realize that if I switch these things, that my life would be better and I couldn't live and be alive and be the better myself, you know.
Well,
Well,
like the book says, first step is admitting you are powerless over alcohol and that
yep,
your life has become unmanageable.
yep,
And that was a hard step for me to do. The hardest.
yep.
Everybody says step 4 is the hardest. No, step 1 is the hardest.
Step one is the hardest one.
Admitting to yourself that you
Yep,
are an alcoholic is
yep, exactly.
the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life.
Admitting you're powerless over alcohol or powerless over the other stuff, it's very hard to say, I need the help with this. And that a lot of people know about AA, they're just like not wanting to take that first step and admit that they have a problem, or they're scared because they think that they're the only one, which is what I thought, for real. And I knew better than that because I have family members that are alcoholics, and some of them are still suffering because they have not gotten help. They still drink on a daily basis, and all I can do is pray for them because I cannot make their minds up for them. I can pray and hope that they find the way. Aw, look at that cute little puppy.
I'm trying to get her on camera.
No, go lay down. Get up there and lay down. Talking to the dog. He always waits until I go live to be up and moving around and in my face. No, you're not going to lay
Anyways,
on my laptop.
I'm gonna jump down.
All right, I'm going to say the serenity prayer for everybody and then close out the meeting.
All right.
So, all right, love you. Thank you for coming up. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Keep coming back. It works if you work it. Love you guys.